We got half an hour to do this. So
that's enough time.
No, it was great. We can do this in half an hour. It should be it should be short. I mean, I love a long podcast episode, but
this is weird. I can hear myself while I'm talking.
I know.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll just ignore it.
Buckle up, Ruth.
Buckle up.
Welcome to Tech About Town, brought to you by Communitech and Elevate IP. I'm one of your hosts, Alex.
I'm the other one of your hosts, Sasha.
Today on the podcast,
heavy hitters.
We have heavy hitters. We were talking about this earlier. We were kind of fortunate we had a time constraint on this episode because our guests are important, which is fantastic for us because it lets us kind of get right to the conversation.
Totally. We jumped right into it.
So who are our guests today?
The CEO of Accelerator Center, Ruth Casselman, and the interim CEO of Communitech, Jennifer Gruber. Jenn, otherwise.
Yeah.
So I know her. And can I tell you a little bit about Accelerator Center?
Please.
The Accelerator Center is actually ranked as one of the world's top 5 private business accelerators. They're like a big deal in town. And we work really closely with them to support the entrepreneur tech founder community. And we're going to get into what drives them both personally and professionally and their strategy to help founders with these massive organizations.
Did you know that the Communitech used to be housed in the AC?
I didn't. Karen Klink said that the other day, that she and Christina Wood used to have an office in the Accelerator Center.
My first product management peer-to-peer group meeting was in the AC, and I was just at the AC for their aerospace accelerator showcase. And I was like, that's right, the meeting room that you're doing the catering was the meeting room of that peer-to-peer. Look at that. Let's just jump into the episode. Welcome, Jenn and Ruth.
Okay, we're here with some heavy hitters today. Ruth Casselman, CEO of Accelerator Center, and we've got Jennifer Gruber, the interim CEO of Communitech, and a longtime pal of me.
Oh.
Can I tell my personal anecdote about Jennifer Gruber?
Sure.
Jenn, I was so freaked out when I was pregnant with my second kid about what do I do with the first kid, the toddler, who takes care of them when you all of a sudden have to run to the hospital and give birth. And we were talking in the events closet and you were like, here's my number. You text me, you call me if you need me. I will come get your kid. I got a car seat. He'll love, my kids will play with him. He'll love my house.
I got
will
you.
Take care of, and when I think about it now, I want to cry. It was like such a beautiful, supportive thing for you to say to me. Anyway, so that's my personal Jenn anecdote.
That's a good anecdote.
I know.
That's women supporting women.
That's right. I got you. Call me any day.
So anyhow, that's our working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But
you can come get my kids anytime too. Mine are 14 and 11 though.
Oh man. I'm completely unqualified to take care of teenagers.
Me too.
Alex has 3 kids too.
I try to avoid them.
Yeah. Well,
that's why we're here at work.
Yeah.
That's why. And yeah, so we're here to talk about what it's like to support each other, but also support the founder community here. Mm-hmm. And, how you, especially you, Ruth, as a recovering founder, how that sort of informs your work on the other side, on the more supporting side.
I don't know if that's a question or not, but yes.
I don't know either.
I think having been a founder, it gives me a lot of insight into the almost more the emotional support that founders need. Definitely the day-to-day business and investment and product advice, but understanding how founders go through their journey and the ups and downs and like the all-in dedication and passion that a founder needs to be successful. I think that often shapes now how I lead the Accelerator Center, who supports all of those founders. So I do think it's a big part of, I hope a big part of my success.
Yeah. And Jenn, you've been the CFO here for, is it 9 years?
I've been at Communitech for almost 9 years, but I've been the CFO for 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a great perspective to come into your position too, to understand what it takes to keep the lights on, really.
Yeah, I think I understand almost the inverse. I've come from the operation side, the finance, what the stakeholders are interested in, and then how do we wrap that support around the founders. But I would say to Ruth's point that we found the same thing with our founders, that we have programs and supports and growth coaches, but they really need is the community. They need the peer-to-peers, they need the events, and they need to connect with each other and mentors and thought leaders who've been where they are. So I'm learning sort of that side of the equation too, but it's a pleasure to be here and amongst peers like Ruth and on this journey together.
What was your first thought when you were tapped to become the interim CEO?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here
I'm
we
ready.
go. You're ready.
Are we
Always.
allowed to swear on this podcast?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'd been positioned as Chris's not successor, but number 2 for a while, and supporting, especially when he was traveling. And it's always one of those careful what you wish for, because then the board is like, wow, here you go. We'd like you to step in.
Obvious choice.
Yeah, and we don't know if it's 6 months, if it's 12 months, but be a steady hand on the wheel, the team. And I was just like, oh, I was thrilled for the opportunity, because how often do you get asked? And it's a huge vote of confidence, I think, from the board and from the team, take it on. So I think my first maybe naive thought was just excitement. Like, I'm going to be here for the team, for the founders. I know the board. It's going to be great. And then 7 days, 10 days, you start to realize the magnitude of the job and the responsibility. And then I started to get a little bit more scared.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Ruth, you're on the board at Communitech.
I am.
And you're the CEO of Accelerator Center. No big deal. How do you see these two organizations sort of like complementing each other?
I think this question goes back to our whole ecosystem, and it's really just about focusing on what actually matters. And so, yes, we have all the day-to-day, and we have to pay our bills, and we have to, do the things we have to do as an organization. But for me, and the reason I'm in this job, is completely here for founders and supporting founders. And I think from an ecosystem perspective, as long as we all have that same focus, which I believe we do, it's easy, right? What do they need? How do we get them the supports we need, the supports they need? And I do think, without oversimplifying it, it's easy if you're focused on the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pause here for a second. This is the process of the podcast. Like, kind of just a conversation. Is it feeling okay for you guys?
Yeah. You tell us.
You guys are doing great.
Great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just along for the ride.
Usually
right now.
we warm up a
That's
little
great.
bit more, but we're on a time crunch, so I'm just like getting right in the weeds.
No,
Don't apologize.
I was like, this is cool. Like, you're just jumping right
Yeah,
into
no,
it. I'm
this
just
is-
like, I had questions, but the hell with it. I'm
It's
listening.
nothing short of a miracle that the two of you were in a room last week and I was able to find time that worked for both your
that's true.
calendars. That is like the stars have
You should
aligned.
see my calendar today. It is literally every second of for 12 hours today.
I'm so sorry.
Really?
Yes.
But you know what? You're not staring at a screen right now, which is
I know.
fantastic.
This is way more fun than sitting in front of a computer.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you want to? I know you got.
This is a token question. Throw us one.
I have token questions.
Please give us a softball.
Well, no, I mean, the question that I wrote, because I was really interested in asking both of you this, which is, as we've come out of the last 5 years, there's a lot of concern and questions about what's not right in the tech ecosystem, what's missing. There's a lot of conversation about what's wrong. What do you think's going right?
I think in my short tenure here, there's a lot of collaboration that's really positive. I think the change in leadership, the change in tone, the founder community we have, we're really working together. How can we support each other? How can we hand off founders at appropriate stages in their journey? How can we promote each other? How can we promote our founders? And I think that that's going right. I think coming out of COVID, where we were all siloed and in our rooms, we're back in the community, we're seeing each other, and we're finding ways to collaborate again. And I think there's an amazing crop of founders doing amazing things, and we just need to celebrate that, I think, a little bit more and bring that narrative back to Waterloo Region being the powerhouse that it is.
If I could just add to that,
Please.
Someone said a leadership lesson to me early on in my career, which was catch them doing something right, right, versus catch them doing something wrong. And so I try to apply that in most of my leadership situations, but I think we also need to apply that to the community, right? Like, you can always find something that wasn't perhaps perfect in somebody's opinion, but that's not the point, right? The point is, what are we doing right? And doubling down on the things that have impact. So yeah, can we learn new things? Can we change things? Can we make things better? Of course we can. And we are, and that's a big focus, of course. But we have amazing community events. There was an amazing event at Communitech today. The Accelerator Center had a breakfast this morning on transitioning technical founders to leaders. And we had some really amazing, successful CEOs from the community share their insights on that. And that's like taking the insights from our successful founders and applying it back to early stage founders, that those are the lessons that stay with me and have stayed with me as an ex-founder. So we just keep doing the awesome stuff, and it's important to hear feedback on what needs to change and what's new, what needs to be new, what needs to be different. But for me, I just keep trying to move the bar forward and up, raise the bar. Is that what we're? Yeah.
Sounds great. Forward, up.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Rising tide lifts all boats.
For sure.
It's always that's a good one. That's the live, love, laugh of.
Also, my favorite
quotes.
corporate phrase from Amazon was, "We're building the plane as we're flying it." It's very.
Is that supposed to be inspirational?
It's just like everything's a shit show.
Yeah,
this is what that means.
But I think, and we were both at Catalyst last week to celebrate the grand opening of their new space. So I think there's a place in the ecosystem for all of us.
Yeah.
We just have to celebrate what we do best and then support others when they're doing their best.
The other thing I was going to say was Waterloo is very much a 6 degrees of separation kind of thing, because you've been here. You've been
5 years.
5 years now.
Oh, you guys are babies.
Ruth and I used to work together on the same team.
You told me
Blackberry.
that doesn't. That is so bonkers to me.
So which is wild. And we worked together at Communitech.
Yeah.
And you would question my budget
A lot.
stuff.
That's
a
Jen's
lot.
job.
And now
Still
we're
do.
all in a studio together, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Isn't
I'm the
that
newbie.
weird? Like,
It actually seems extremely normal to me,
Yeah.
because it's the constant story here is
Yeah.
that if I don't know a person, we definitely know the same person, right? Like 2 degrees. I don't know if you can get much more, maybe 3 degrees of separation in Waterloo. I don't even know. But but that's, I think, to me, the great thing is that if you need something and you need somebody, you need access to something. I actually have someone I need to get access to, and I'm thinking whether I should do a shout out right now to somebody that
Do
I
it.
need.
Why not?
yeah, that's the
I need
point.
to talk to John Volk at Elastochem something.
John, get on it.
Yeah.
Elasticam.
They're based in Brantford.
Okay.
So if anyone knows John Volk, send him my email.
Send him the podcast episode.
Yeah.
We'll tag them in the social posts.
Perfect.
On LinkedIn.
Yeah. We have a startup that's looking to talk to somebody in supply chain management, and supposedly he's great at it. So I would like to talk to him.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that so naturally you're like a connector, right?
The thing that I'm trying to do is open doors for startups the same way that I had doors open for me. Mm-hmm. And so we had so much good from somebody saying, oh, you should meet so-and-so. And I mean, we had investment come out of that. We had customers come out of that. And so that's my job now is giving back to the next generation of startups.
Paying it forward. It's beautiful.
Well, I was going to say too, like culture is a big thing. And as leaders of 2 giant organizations now, I assume culture is top of mind. With Alert Labs, we didn't even say that.
Yeah.
Your startup, Alert Labs, which you had a great exit from, seemed to have such a great culture. They used to run the Earth Day cleanup in town. And
they still do, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've been involved in that for a couple of years, which is always great. And it's that community involvement and kind of sense of ownership of where we work and live and play. As you're now both approaching, like you've been in your role now for 8 months. Mm-hmm. You've been in yours like a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. How do you look at that though, as leaders of these organizations where so much of the work that you do is external? So how do you kind of focus and shape that internal culture so that people outside understand that you are both organizations, people can come and ask for help?
Yeah, I
go
think
first.
Yeah, Communitech has always been a mission-driven organization. As a not-for-profit, we attract people who want to help founders and make Waterloo Region a community that they can live and work in. And I think we have a natural talent and a culture that emerges from that. And one of our big values, everyone pushes a broom. So internally, it's really easy to get people help, get people to contribute on projects because they can see that they're improving the community in which they live and work. And it's going to benefit their customer, and they get to interact with the founders on a day-to-day basis through events, networking, and programs. So the internal culture has always been very, very strong. And that's the sort of face we take out to community. Like, we're open door, we're here to help, come to our events, come support us, ask us questions, walk in and rent a desk for the day, or even try it out for free. And so I think that's always been sort of our mantra. We're here for the ecosystem.
To me, culture is about the why. And so that was a big focus at Alert Labs. Alert Labs had a significant environmental impact that they could have on commercial buildings. And so the why that drove a lot of our culture was that environmental impact. Coming now to the Accelerator Center, our why, again, goes back to supporting the ecosystem, supporting founders, helping them to avoid avoidable problems, helping them to grow faster. So I think if we're all focused back on the why and what are we doing here, why are we here, it shapes the culture. It does go back to leadership as well, and I have to live that culture every day. I push the broom, I empty the dishwasher. You do what you got to do, and I think when you build that culture of we have a goal and a purpose, and we're here to support founders, it is easy for people to support that culture and that goal because they believe in it themselves.
I was just trying to figure out a way I can work the David Johnson Research and Technology Park into this conversation.
What's that?
That's where the AC is.
Oh,
Yeah, good. That was smooth.
You like that? I just need a way to give a shout. My buddy Mike is like the manager of the park. So
Also an ex-BlackBerry.
Also
That's how
ex-BlackBerry
you
guy.
fit it in,
Yeah.
right? We're everywhere. Here we go. Another shout out. I was talking to Justin McFadden at the City of Waterloo in their economic development department just yesterday, and he's ex-BlackBerry too. He's telling me all the stories of how he used to deal with the executive team at BlackBerry and grow all the sales. So we're everywhere. It goes
all
back
the
to
time. Even like there's like someone, Jamie Murphy. Remember
Yeah.
Jamie Murphy? I joined my wife's company,
Oh,
and he's like, "Oh, are you related to Alex?" And she's like, "Damn it." Yes.
does she have the same last name as you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people can connect those
Yeah.
dots.
There's not a lot of us. There's not. There was the one at the
I know.
aerospace though. There was another Kinslow there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was like, that's weird, man.
yeah, Pegasus.
Aeronautics.
Yeah, they have a Kinslow there.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Okay.
You ready?
Sorry, yeah.
No, I like.
I got
your,
my David Johnston
your-
Research and Technology Park. Shout out.
twice.
Do you
now.
know?
Twice.
Yes, it just rolls off the tongue.
It really
That name,
does.
It really does. But the amazing thing about that space is, of course, it's where the new hospital is going in the Waterloo
yeah.
region, and so the AC is in that park, sort of sandwiched between the University of Waterloo and the new hospital location. So yeah, you should check us out. We're really super cool.
Yeah. It's a cool park. Have you gone? Have you ever been to the park?
I have no idea.
We got to go. Like Tex Now is there.
It's a business park. Don't
Yeah.
there's
Don't
no
get
slides.
too
well, man, they
excited.
have food trucks like in the summer.
We do have food trucks.
I love a
And,
food truck.
Yeah, beer tents.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely it's an R&T park. Like it's, but yeah,
You're really selling it.
We're right on the LRT.
Are you
I
commission
also think
driven,
it's
or is
as
this just
as
like
a
a?
complete aside? I know we talk about like a lot of cool, like downtown's cool and uptown's cool, right? And like midtown, whatever. But like the park,
The R&T Park is where business happens.
they got an
So,
LRT station.
We do.
But did you hear they're breaking ground next spring on the transit hub?
Oh yeah,
that whole
true.
new front
That's
door
what
to
I
the
mean.
region.
Transit hub's right here.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
amazing.
You're getting next in your hospital, so like I think the hubs are uniquely positioned for the next wave.
I think all areas are really great.
Yeah. The tannery's
Alex
great
is-
too, Alex.
Alex is trying to
I know, and Tannery too.
don't
oh, yeah.
don't
No,
at don't
all
at
of them.
him about what neighborhoods are better than others.
Oh, I have my opinions.
He
Cherry
likes
Park.
all of them.
Yeah, your opinion is they're all equally good. I'm really excited for
don't.
the transit hub. I hope we can get some two-way all day going, but I can hope.
Do you guys have another question for us?
Okay, I've got a question.
Sorry.
Okay, when we're recording this, it's December 10th. So what are you guys excited for in the new year for your organizations? Like, what's the big goals, big rocks? What are you trying to do? You'll have a year, Ruth, under your belt at that point. Jen, you got a clean slate.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm excited for everybody to come back after a break, renewed and refreshed. At this time of year, everybody's like a little tired. And I think coming back in the new year, we come into our fiscal planning. So our dream of what we want to do, how we want to continue to deliver. A lot of our funding and our programs are locked in place. But it's a season of how might we do it better? How might we do it differently? And we're really engaging the people leaders and the people that do it best to help advise us on that role. So I'm excited for that. And then for the new CEO to come in and sort of add their vision to what Communitech could be. I think is an exciting possibility for mid next year, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I would like to just point out that the accountant in the room said we're all going to come back and do
Refreshed and be
fiscal planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the best time of the year.
Nothing kicks
Nothing.
off a year like fiscal planning.
I'm a type A. I like a good plan.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
it's
do like
good.
good plan. I do like fiscal planning as well. I
Yeah.
just don't know that maybe people connect to that emotionally as much as.
I was going to ask, so for both of you, since both organizations are very event and convening and bringing people together focused. Drop convening in there from the plan. You like that?
Yeah, I love that.
It's yeah.
Connect, convene, and
I use in my
catalyze.
everyday language, but not elevate. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Collision left, right? So Collision's not here in Toronto anymore. Elevate's still around, but there's a kind of a big gap now in terms of events. Do you see that as an opportunity to kind of do more things? Not a True North, which I know would freak everybody out about doing a giant event again, but larger events than we kind of typically do now.
Like a big kahuna, like a big.
I don't know, something like a little bit bigger.
I mean, I work in events at Communitech, and I every so often an email lands in my inbox being like, when are we going to bring True North back?
Well, I feel like the Battle of the Bands is that's a big event. Is that that's what's
It's a great
Maxwell's
event.
like 300?
500 people.
500
We're
in Maxwell's.
selling 500 tickets, and they're selling fast. So if you don't have your tickets yet, get your tickets. It is an event that you actually have to buy a ticket for, but all of the proceeds go back to the Mental Health Association. So it's a Monday night. I can guarantee you don't have plans, so you should come.
Sounds great. I'll be there.
I don't actually on Mondays. I was saying that's my one free night.
Yeah. Sort of free.
Sort of free.
Yeah.
What do you mean your one free night?
Like we only have one kid activity.
Oh.
So it's like free night. It's open.
Yeah.
Except for like that hour that I gotta go do something. So whatever.
Trying to replace a huge conference like that. I mean, I remember the True North conference. There were speakers there that were so inspirational. Maybe someday we'll get back to doing a conference like that. But in the interim, it is about figuring out we have so many inspirational, successful founders in town. Like, let's get them all out and have them tell us cool stuff. We, even like 10, 15 minutes with a successful business person who's done it, been there, done it, I can guarantee you that you'll learn something amazing.
I think there's a lot of appetite for events where people are just sort of mixing and mingling organically. And there's not like a speaker talking about success and how to drive business forward. I think that's great too. But one thing we hear a lot with events at Communitech is like Dan talking about startup drinks.
Oh yeah,
bringing that back.
Unstructured.
Yeah, Unstructured, just connect and shoot the shit.
What was the one that used to happen? It was like monthly and they'd rotate spaces and they had no speaker.
I think that was the founder drinks that Dan Sylvester's.
Yeah.
Oh no, but like it was bigger. It was like not Nerd Night. That was something different. Maybe it was Nerd Night.
I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name because I have the mind of a goldfish. Guys, we have 5 minutes left before Jenn has to
go
embark. Is there anything you wanted to shout out, cover?
No, I think there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to at Communitech, especially in the first quarter of next year. We have a breakfast coming up in February. We have the CEO dinner in March. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for the community to connect. And it's been a tough year with the capital gains tax and tariffs. And there's been a lot of uncertainty, but our community has certainly rallied. And we were named the top small tech talent market. And so I think there's a lot to be proud of in this community and with our founders. And we're just looking forward to celebrating that in the new year and having people out at our events and connecting and supporting our peer organizations in the ecosystem as well.
I'm going to do a call out to all the founders in the Waterloo region.
Name by name, and one by one?
One by one. That's right. Yes. Okay. So here's my call out to all the founders in the Waterloo region. There are amazing events that I can guarantee you will learn something, meet somebody cool, meet somebody who can help your business, but you have to leave your house. And so that's my call out to all the founders in the Waterloo region is join the newsletters, the community events listings. I happen to know someone that does a very cool
TLWR.
That's right. If you don't know TLWR, find that and go to the events. I know sometimes even in the job I'm in now, I'm like, oh, do I need to go to this other community event? I have never gone to a community event where I have not either had a valuable conversation, met somebody cool, met somebody who can help my organization, help my business. You just got to get out there and network. And so you will get out what you put into events. And so I put it out there. Go to one event a month. Do something different than you usually do, and you will get value from it.
Yeah, and if you see a gap, let us know. Reach out to the Accelerator Center and Communitech, and we're happy to take that feedback and bring it back to the team.
Awesome.
Love that. Get out of your house.
That was a good last question.
It was.
I'm a pro.
I know. You've been doing it for a while. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us in the studio.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Speaking
having
of
us.
getting out of your house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
last
know.
time you came to an event, community event, you walked
I-
up and I said,
got
"Hey,
to do a
Ruth, come to the
podcast." That's
podcast."
right.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing is that
Yeah, that's
Sasha will
true.
ask you to be on a podcast.
That's
No,
true.
that's the great thing. It is like it will absolutely happen. Go out and meet people in real life.
Yeah, come into Communitech events and pitch us on why you want to be on the podcast. No, I'm just joking. But thank you. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice to
Thank you.
get to know you, Ruth. And hopefully one day we'll be so close that you'll offer to take care of my kids. Maybe,
Aw.
maybe not.
They're adorable.
She laughs. Laughs. Not a chance.
I've put in my time taking care of kids, so unless you're related to me, it's probably not going to happen.
But no. Well, it's worth a shot.
You don't ask, you don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I do have two 14-year-olds that do
Oh,
like
perfect.
to babysit, though. So
Oh, there we
you
go.
go.
Look, making connections.
there you go. It was worth leaving your house today.
That was great. I loved talking to Jenn and getting to know Ruth. I've kind of been, been an admirer of Ruth from afar as like an inspirational woman in power and business in town. And it was really nice to connect with her. And Jenn, I always love seeing. So
it's really cool to see. Like I've known them let me rephrase that. I've known them for so long.
yeah,
In different roles, and for now they're both like CEO and interim CEO of these two organizations. It's cool. Like I wouldn't have thought it. Like I didn't never like Ruth and I had lunch over the summer, and like she's had an exit from a startup. She doesn't really need to be doing this.
yeah,
And
she could be drinking mojito somewhere,
But just like Jenn, like they both really care about
giving back.
giving back and making sure that there's opportunities for people who are working today, for people who are in post-secondary and probably
Yeah.
looking for their first gig. And then who knows, maybe even like your kids,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
my kids, maybe.
that's what drives a lot of these organizations is we want this place. Why we want Waterloo to be a great place for our kids we don't want them to have to move away to find a good job. Like we want this to be a great place to live and work.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
that's the tea. Can I tell you about Communitech?
Oh, sure, do it.
Communitech is an innovation hub in Waterloo Region. We're based in downtown Kitchener. We help tech founders start, grow, and succeed. We've got a membership program where you can come join our community officially. And then we've got all sorts of services and programs and support for you in capital, talent, access to markets, and community. And we're also brought to you by
Elevate IP.
Elevate IP. Do you want to read the legal text this time?
No,
What?
it is my turn. Sorry. So Communitech, North Forge, Technology Exchange, and Invest Ottawa are corporations under the laws of Ontario and Manitoba and are not agents of the Crown.
Yeah,
Just in case you were
I was.
confused by that one. But Elevate IP helps you learn about IP, develop an IT policy, protect your IP, monetize your IP, all of the things around intellectual property that everyone likes to do.
Yeah, you got to protect your business, and a lot of tech founders we hear don't like. They're not everyone is good at everything.
Protect it, don't neglect it. Elevate IP is accepting applications all the way
through to April 2025.
Because that's
Yeah.
when, if you didn't know, that's when the government fiscal year starts. April.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, we live in our fiscal year at Communitech starts
Fiscal
then too.
year.
That's why Jenn was so excited because we're at the end of Q4 means planning for Q1.
Isn't that great?
Love that.
So anyways, thanks for listening to the podcast. It was
Yeah.
a good episode. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, hit us. If you are a tech founder in Waterloo Region or Toronto and you want to learn more about Communitech, slide on over to communitech.ca or hit us up on social.
Now on a faster server. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
It was so fast. I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
I
now.
know. Andy is the
Then I realized how
backbone
old,
of this place.
like how slow the old server was.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage. That new server though, like I was entering content
No problem.
so fast.
No twirly little spinny things
No
to
little
load.
spinning wheel. It was great. So shout out Andy and
Yeah.
that new server. Thank
Andy,
goodness for the cloud.
there's a lot of people here that just, if They're just the backbone of this place.
Pretty much Andy.
Andy's one of
Yeah.
them, for sure. Okay, Alex, I'll see you later.
Maybe 2025. Who knows? It could be. This could be airing right now in 2025.
This is 2025.
Oh, that's never mind.
But I will see you on Friday to record another one.
All right. Peace.
Bye.